Hi, welcome back to Sky News Tech Talk. I'm Maz. I'm the Community Product Manager. I'm here with PWalsh. Paul, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, I am the chairman of the British Interactive Media Association, or better known as BEMA amongst the industry creatives. I am the founding CEO of an internet company called Sigala, that specialises in website standards compliance and certification. I'm a partner in some restaurants in Dublin. I am the founder and CEO of a new startup called WooBud, which is a social network application for mobile users, which is due to launch in January. And just secured early stage funding from Paul Birch, who sold people.
Got it.
And I run and host, I run a lot of networking events and parties to bring people together.
Great, thanks. We are in a very cool place, as you can see in the surrounding. We're in Soho, and we're at an event called Open Soho that Paul set up. Paul, would you mind telling us a little bit about it?
Sure, it's a, well actually, what it's evolved into is entirely different to what I actually had in mind. When I came up with the idea, I thought, well, what would be a great way to get about 30 or 40 people with whom you're connected quite closely, but you don't get to see that often, and meet them regularly, maybe every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks, choose the same venue each time. If you can get a sponsor to pay for it, then that'd be great. If not, then we just pay for it ourselves. So I got together a few friends, Alex Chu, founder of Pop Jam, Robert Locke, founder of Enjoyed, and Paul Birch, co-founder of PWalsh. So come together because between us then we had a really cool network. And it's kind of metamorphosized from what I had in mind to something entirely different. And now it attracts, if you look at the Facebook group, there's about 500 people.
Correct. I'm a member.
And you're a member, which is brilliant. Yeah. And on tonight, so this is the second event, and we on Facebook we had about 280, 290 confirmed with about 200 maybes. So, and the sponsor, Media Garden, came up to me, Matt, within 5 minutes of the first event, saying, hey, what can we do to support this? Because we want to support this kind of collaboration. And so yeah, it's a lot of cool people, a mix between investors, entrepreneurs who founded really cool companies, some journalists, tech people, and people just like to blog on Twitter.
Okay, excellent. I think one of the things that I wanted to talk about in this episode is, besides the social networking where you can be a member of the site, I got to know Paul, for example, through events, and his name popped up on Facebook, on Twitter, and a bunch of sites. So I just wanted to talk to him more about how do you go on about and go to these networking places. How do you find out, find more about these, and is there a norm, and what do you do? How do you present your business, what you're up to, etc. I guess it's just finding these places on Facebook groups and so on, or contacting you directly, or how do you go on about it, please?
Well, it's important to point out, first of all, that I don't consider myself a networker. I don't have 10 top tips of how to network and meet people and generate new business for yourself. I don't have a strategy going into a room. In fact, if I turn up to an event where I'm not likely to know very many people, then I'm actually quite shy. And I find it difficult to mix. So the best way for me to advise people is to say, well, look to your friends and your close colleagues, see what events they're going to, and go with them. And then you realise you're actually connected to more people at these events than what you previously anticipated. If you don't have very many friends and colleagues that go to networking events, or if you live outside of London and you want to come to London specifically, then drop me a note, drop one of my friends a note who do events and parties, and say, look, at what kind of people should we, what kind of networking events should we go to, this is what we do in business. And just turn up, and actually turn up with the expectation of having some fun and talking to people, not the expectation of selling your business. Exactly. That's a byproduct. That's a byproduct. For me, I do this because it's fun and I enjoy it. Generating business is a very long-term thing, and it's not always about meeting new people either. It's about continuously building the relationships that you've got with people, whether it's your friends who you think are very, very close, but they're actually not as close as you think, or you might not know as much about them as you think in business. So it's actually about building relationships and not just about meeting new people. I'm not one of these people that will go into a room and say, right, 5 new people. That's fine. I know some people who do that, business card in hand, 5 new people, and that's how I kind of rate the success of that networking event. You can't do that. In fact, I don't think you can go to one particular event, walk away thinking for the very first time at that event and say, oh, that was rubbish, I'm not going to go to that again.
Okay.
Kind of you might need to go to it a few times.
Fair enough. Thanks for that. We're going to add Paul's Twitter details and everything else to the blog as well. Last question I have. I've been in the media business for a little time, and I don't think there's ever been so many events that are related to media, web tools, social media, social networking, whatever you want to call it. It's like, if you actually have time, you can go to any of these events like every day, pretty much. There is geek girls, geek boys, all sorts of. Why do you think there's so many now that are happening? Are we looking more towards the States, how they've done it, or is just the norm is here?
No, it's not looking to the States or any other country.
Sure.
Nobody has ever thought, I don't think, oh, look at how they do it in the Silicon Valley, what can we do?
What can we do?
That just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think maybe perhaps what's happened is technology has enabled us to better communicate with people and connect and grow relationships and arrange these meetings and these gatherings. And I think it's over the past year to 2 years that it's really, really starting to take off. It's not just the network, it's actually not the networking events per se alone. It's the whole passion that people have about collaborating, wanting to help other people, wanting to connect people to other people with whom they think they can actually do business or just have fun with. And there's actually a small handful of people that run those events. I run the events. Robert Locke, Alex Chu, Paul Birch, Ollie Barrett, Tom Bowl, Steve Moore. You know, and they kind of run different type of events. They've got kind of slightly different types of connections. But amongst this, there's this overlap, and there are people that we have in common. And it's a massive passion. I think London is probably one of the best cities in the world right now for this kind of passionate collaborating and passionate networking events. And you're right, you could go to as many as 3-4 different events in the one night. And it's getting to a point now where we're actually asking each other, look, we want to run this event on the 17th of January. Is it going to clash with anything? Because it's likely to clash with something.
Schedule.
Exactly,
Okay. Well, that's great. Paul, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. We're in a closed door, so soon we're going to go out and meet the other folks. So see you soon. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, friends.
Okay.